Okay. Hello, everyone. Hare Krishna. We are here today with Aishwarya and Carolina. Um, so Aishwarya is an expert in the field of breathwork. So welcome, Aishwarya, to this Zoom session with Yoga Chanti, which will be start of a series. And Aishwarya is going to cover a few aspects that we can see here: breath, prana, respiro. She's going to tell us what that is. And then I'm just going to introduce you briefly to Aishwarya. So, um, so Aishwarya is a certified yoga coach. She's been teaching at GEV, which is Govardhan Eco Village, in various aspects. But she has also a postgraduate in yoga, which is kind of rare to find. So Aishwarya, you want to just explain to us what is a postgraduate in yoga? Because I've heard of a graduate, but postgraduate seems to be taking it to the next level.
Yeah, so thank you so much for having me in this conversation, firstly. And yeah, postgraduate is like Master of Arts in Yoga. And then you have concept, you have therapeutic yoga, you look at yoga from traditional, from scriptural point of view, etc. So we have studies, all of that in post-graduation.
Hmm. I see. Okay. Okay. So this is a postgraduate experience of 5 years. So just tell me a little bit, how did these 5 years work out? Was it more like, first you just have different, I, I'm, I mean, I'm sure you have different courses, obviously, but then is it all theory, or you have some, practical part where you actually deal with people? Like how does this 5 years go?
So, actually, I started my journey in COVID when
Mm.
we were all locked down and it was very
2020. Okay.
difficult to go outside. So I
Mm.
just thought like let's have something where we can go inside. So I felt my yoga journey actually kickstarted in COVID times, in just under one roof, and
Uh,
it was really amazing. There were a couple of courses that I went through from my yoga teacher in Bombay,
mm,
and that's how like I got certified from Government of India, Ministry of Ayush. And then I did few sessions, few camps. Then I used to take personalized classes for people, and my journey was even more rewarding when I ended up going to GEV, Govardhan Eco Village, for a yoga course of 1 month.
I
And
see.
then I just wanted to stay there more with my teachers, and learn more about yoga. I was also taking care of the school there. And yeah, it's never looking back. Right now, I'm also working in the healthcare center and senior living homes. And if somebody needs personalized classes, so I do offer. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Oh, great. So you actually used your time during the lockdown, the COVID period that we all went through, to actually look within, and then you developed this course. So I guess most of it was online then, in that case, during that time, obviously.
During that time, it was online, but once everything got opened up, then I started
Hmm.
going out and I mean, learning more from
Great.
yoga teachers personally.
Interesting. Excellent. So yeah, we can see here that you've looked at, what we are trying to show here is basically there are certain needs and motivations for every individual. All of us as as individuals, we have certain likes, dislikes, but then we obviously go through struggles in life, right? There is stress, living in cities or maybe even living in farms. Wherever you are, there's bound to be stress in this world. So there are obstacles in our path, and then I think you want to cover how breathwork, specifically can help us deal with the day-to-day stress, getting through the day. And not only that, we want to be more productive, right? We want to be super efficient at what we do.
Mhm.
So is that correct? Is that on the right track?
Yes, yes, perfect, Sundarji.
Okay, okay, great. So I'll just move over to the next section. So you want to cover this? This looks like a huge esoteric, some text from the ancient, scriptures. Is that what it is?
Yeah, so this is a sutra from Patanjali Yoga Sutra. So
Mm-hmm.
like I have attended a couple of like yoga classes, have done yoga classes with number of teachers. So there were some teachers who were following the order. There were some teachers who were not following the order. So the first question arises like, does it really matter to follow the order of asana and pranayam? Like, should we do pranayam first, after that asana, or should we do asana first and after that do we do pranayam?
Mm-hmm.
So, does it really matters to follow the order? So, one point is definitely it matters because we need to have optimum benefit from our practice. And secondly, like the way I've understood, I always remember that statement that I studied. in breathwork. It says that pranayam can do more harm than good if not practiced properly. So we
I see.
really need to understand the do's and the don'ts of the pranayam and of breath work, and when it is to be practiced. Should it be practiced before asana or after asana? So I always like to have something that is authentic. I always like to have a reasoning that is authentic. So Sage
Mhm.
Patanjali many years ago has already mentioned in his sutra. So this sutra here he is giving us the Ashtang Yoga, the eight limbs of yoga. It starts from Yama, Niyama, Asan, Pranayam, Pratyahar, Dharana, Dhyana, and Samadhi are the eight accessories. Now, if you see over here, we also see that pranayam is following asana. So these are the processes, these are the eight limbs to go within, starting from yama to samadhi. So here
I
also
see.
we get to see that pranayam is following asana. So definitely pranayam can be practiced after asana. And we have one more sutra.
Yes. Yeah, yes, we're going there. And
Mm.
before that, I was just trying to, take down this because I've never seen these run into each other like this before. And it's
Mhm.
kind of interesting. I think you need to really know Sanskrit to really split these up
Mm.
as they've done
Yes.
here. But what is it? So what you're saying is this is a natural order, starting with let me see, Yama, so restraint. You go there, and what you're saying is it's basically like a ladder which
Yeah,
goes
it's
upwards
like a
step by
ladder.
step. I
Yes.
see. So in that sense, pranayam follows asana because to me, having done very very limited, asanas and pranayam, I normally used to think that pranayam should basically precede asana because you clear up the your breathing system and then you do asanas. But this is actually an interesting take. Um, Also, the other thing I was I was noticing, Aishwarya, is there is this concept of dharana or fixity, and to be honest, I had to actually look up this word because I didn't know that something like fixity existed, and it I think it says something. If I remember, it means being steady and not moving
Mm.
from the path. So I think this is all leading towards this samadhi and concentration within
Yes.
oneself is what it seems like. Okay, great. All right, we can move to the follow-up sutra.
Yeah, this is very interesting sutra. We also use this sutra in our yoga classes, in our breathwork classes. It goes like that. Tasmin shati shwas prashwas gati vichedah pranayama. Here it's clear cut actually mentioned by Sage Patanjali. Once the asana is being perfected, that having been perfected, regulation of the flow of inhalation and exhalation is pranayam. So here he is actually trying to define pranayam. He is defining breath work, but here it is the most important part is once the asana is been perfected, once you get certain amount of perfection in asana practice, after that you can actually start the breath work. So here again from the scriptures we understand the order that pranayam is to be practiced after asana.
Hmm. Okay, so let me ask like a silly question, okay, because I'm full of them. So, can I say go for a run, like a jog, and then I'm and obviously breathing in, breathing out. Can we basically do pranayam in that format and call it as I'm done with my 20-minute pranayam for the day, or do I have to sit like this in exalted sage we see here in the lotus yoga pose and do pranayam?
So you mean to say like can we do pranayam after running? So
No,
yeah,
like
definitely.
during actually, I was saying like while you run, obviously your breath rate goes up, right?
Yeah.
So then is that also considered pranayam as long as we just breathe in for a specific duration and breathe out, or do you really have to sit in this posture and focus on your breath?
I think sitting in the posture and focusing on our breath is more important because that increases our awareness. While
Okay.
running, we are not at all aware of our breath. We are just
Hmm.
panting. And the
Mhm.
focus is here and there. We are looking around. The focus is how am I going to run? So, here during pranayama, the focus entirely goes towards our nostril area. And then we increase the awareness how the air is going in, what is happening inside, and more you try to give your attention to different parts of the body or etc., then that's how you increase the healing and you get
Okay.
connected with yourself.
Got it. Okay. Okay. All right. And then, I mean, before I get off that topic, just because, I run a little bit here and there, and I know many of us like to. So somewhere I remember reading that, if you really just run, we waste those, breaths when we're actually running, say for, I guess the worst case would be a treadmill where you don't go anywhere, right? You're just running in the same place, like the, what do they call it? The hamster on the wheel. You're just in the same place. So what do you feel? Is that wasted breath?
Okay. I have a different outlook to look at it. I'm
Yes,
not
please.
against of running. Definitely, we need running to be etc., to improve the blood circulation and everything. But
Hmm.
the way I've understood, like it takes me to that example that I learned from my yoga teacher. We say that we are born with particular number of breaths, specific number of
Mm.
breaths. We all are born with a specific number of breaths, and if you see properly, then how is dog breathing? You have to compare the breathing of a dog with the breathing of tortoise.
Okay.
So the dog's breath is very fast, and
Hmm.
tortoise will always breathe slowly.
Oh, so you're saying so that directly affects the span of life. That's why tortoise live
Yes,
so long.
yes. Dog will,
Right.
the average lifespan is around 20 years, and average lifespan of tortoise is around like 100 years, or it can go about that. So
Hmm.
here, what our sages have done is you slow down your breath. Instead of taking like 14 breaths a minute, try to take 11 to 12 or 10 breaths. Your longevity will be there and you increase your
Oh,
life.
interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So right around 10 breaths per minute is what kind of is an
we,
suggested
we
average somewhere there.
yeah, average can go here and there, like
Hmm.
the way science is progressing, but our main aim is to reduce the average of the breath as much
Got
as
it.
we can, as much as we can.
Awesome, thank you. And I think so science leads us to this next slide that seems pretty scientific. So you want to take us through this?
Yeah. So first, before going on to the pictures, let's understand how oxygen is flowing within our body. So the oxygen enters the lungs,
Hmm.
and the oxygen diffuses into the bloodstream. This bloodstream will go to the heart, and the heart will pump that blood throughout the body. So this is
Okay.
how oxygen is being carried throughout the body via bloodstream. Now, if we see, then the hemoglobin is actually carrying oxygen. The hemoglobin, which is a protein, it's carrying oxygen. And here again, we will see red blood cell, hemoglobin molecules. The oxygen is coming in from the lungs. Here, the oxygen is getting attached to hemoglobin. And the hemoglobin, wherever it goes, it's going to release the oxygen. And that's how oxygen will reach different cells and tissues of the body. So this
Okay,
is
so
this
you're
is like
saying this
a
whole, oh, sorry. So you're saying this whole process, this is where oxygen it comes in, the cells become rich in oxygen, so as to
yes.
say, and then travel all over the body through the, tiny blood vessels, tinier and tinier, and then it releases. And then basically it comes back through the veins is what.
Yeah, it comes
Yes.
back. Carbon dioxide can also be circulated, but
Okay.
oxygen mainly is circulated via hemoglobin. So
Hmm.
the hemoglobin is like the car, and oxygen is like the passenger.
Got it. Okay. Okay.
So
And I know that Carolina may be having some thoughts on that because she's like a medical background.
yes,
So
yes,
so maybe
yes.
we'll come to that, Carolina, at the end
Sure,
once we
sure.
finish. Yep. Okay.
Yes.
Sorry, go ahead.
So this was just an understanding like how oxygen travels within the body.
Hmm.
Now, when we do asana practice, we are doing stretching and your blood circulation improves. the
Okay.
it becomes more efficient, the blood circulation becomes more efficient. And now after asana, when we do pranayam or breath work, more and more oxygen that we take in, more and more oxygen we can actually carry in our bloodstream, and more oxygen can be supplied to different cells and tissues in the body, and that will really help in improving the functioning of those particular organs.
Got it.
So this is like from a biological point of view, and I also felt like very convincing. Like our scriptures and biology, it's like fueling the same reasons. Like
Mm-hmm.
why pranayam or breathwork after asana?
I see. Yep. Yes, that was one of the questions I had. I think we spoke about that, briefly earlier. That why, I mean, to me, it just seemed intuitive to do pranayam and then the asana. But I can see now. So you're saying it basically, you know, uh, works up the body, increases the overall, metabolism, and then and then this whole thing, what you're showing here, the oxygen being supplied, increases the efficiency of that process increases. Okay,
Yes, efficiency
right.
of the organs will definitely increase.
I see. Interesting. Okay. All right, so that makes a lot of sense. Thank you for taking us through that and explaining. And I think we come to the end of the session for now. So I'll actually introduce Carolina here. So I don't think we did that. So Carolina, thank you for joining us. I think you yourself have experience in the medical field, and also we will be doing a separate set um, on the modes of nature. I won't give it away, but there's a lot to cover there, and some aspects, overlap as I was listening to Aishwarya speak today. So, did you have any thoughts, Carolina? For instance, let me go back to this slide here that we were just looking at. What are your thoughts? Do you feel that from your experience, have you seen people be more productive and happy in life if they focus on their breathing? What is your thoughts, Carolina?
Hello, everyone. Thank you for inviting me. So I like this slide. Very nice explain it about the oxygen, how it's moving, and uh, Aishwarya example with the car and passenger. Very nice example. Definitely people um, who do physical activities, who do sport, who do yoga, pranayama, they look better. The health is better, and
Hmm. I see. So the
okay,
breathing, you're saying it does help.
right, right. And then it makes even lose weight. Whoever has overweight, it makes lose weight because the oxygen he start the process of metabolism, and
Hmm.
you lose weight quickly.
Okay. So that's two great points. It's a two wins there. One is just improving your overall sense of well-being,
Mhm.
focus, and being productive during the day, which is what we all want to do. No, I don't think anyone's going to complain. And the second part is, as a side effect, you're saying it also helps to lose weight just because you're burning fat probably in the right way. I don't know. Is there some connection between all this process and how the burning of fat, maybe? I'm just I'm just speculating. I have no idea. Probably because that's why when you say that, it burns fat, I mean they lose weight. I'm thinking, maybe it has something to do with that.
Yeah, because you wouldn't see much people um, overweight, obese who work on its body, on their bodies.
Hmm.
I just mentioned that they look, they doesn't look, they look better. They doesn't, not a lot of people that overweight, they look, um, mm, how to say,
More more
in
more
good
fit?
shape,
You
in
mean
a
more
good
fit
shape.
overall? Overall, their body structure is better just
Yeah.
because the breath work is going. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Okay. All right, yeah, for sure. I mean, if we focus on this, I guess it ties everything together, right? The breath work, the mind, the body, it all goes together. Okay, great. Yeah, so I think that was a great discussion on that. Any final takeaways before we conclude today? Aishwarya, you wanted to say anything in conclusion, or Carolina, whatever thoughts you all had? Let me just quickly go over the slide so we can just get an idea of where we were in the meantime. We started here, breath, prana, respiro, and then yep, yep. So where was this picture taken, by the way, Aishwarya? Was it in New York, you
This
said, right?
picture was taken on International Yoga Day
Right.
at Times Square.
Hmm.
We all were doing yoga at Times Square. So yeah.
Nice. Okay, that's probably a good place to focus on your mind, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
with all the with all the chaos of the city going on. It's amazing that you were able to sit like this.
Yeah.
This is probably a good picture for a
Good
yoga center.
practice.
Yeah,
Good
right.
practice. Yeah.
Yep, yep. Good practice. Exactly. Good practice to focus within yourself.
Mhm.
Amazing. Similar to this, where did you have? Yeah, this picture of this great yogi.
Mhm.
Um, Someone like this, like us sitting right in the middle of Times Square, trying to focus. Uh, Amazing. Okay, so yep. So thank you for everything. Appreciate your time today.
Thank you,
And we
Carol.
will. By the way, so we are actually looking to make this like a course. All these topics that we are delving and looking into. So breathwork is going to become like a course by itself. And similarly with Carolina, we're going to do one on the modes of nature, maybe something specific. So yes, these are going to be courses. So this is more like our way of um, of exploring the topics while we start working on the courses. So more
Mhm.
timelines and more information will be available on the Yoga Chanti website. Um, so yep. With that being said, I will actually conclude for today. Any other closing thoughts?
Yeah, I had one closing thought,
Yeah, please go ahead.
with all these courses, like one will really be able to connect with their own self first. And when we are connected with our own self, it will really help to connect with others. And then will be total happiness and overall well-being.
Oh, okay. So you mean so first look within, and then
Yeah.
you can actually go and help the world outside.
Yeah, so yoga means like to connect or to unite. So we have various parts of yoga, even bhakti yoga and
Hmm.
many other parts of yoga. So this is the yoga where we are connecting with our own self. And that's how you connect with others.
Great. So
Yeah.
connect inside and then connect outside. Awesome. All right.
Yes.
Thank you, Aishwarya. Okay. Thank you,
Thank you so
Carolina.
much. Thank you, Carolina.